As NBA fans, we can mostly agree on a lot of stuff surrounding basketball history. Who's the greatest of all time? Say it with me, MJ. If you said anything other than that,
stop it. Get some help.
Who's the best shooter of all time?
Look at Curry, man. And speaking of Curry,
who's the best NBA team in Canada? Probably the Raptors, right? See, all in harmony. Now in today's video though, I want to talk about how the WNBA is so underrated and I would watch it any day over the NBA. See, no, that's not happening, but see how that triggered you? We are actually going to take a look at the most unpopular and harsh truth in the NBA. Before we start the video, take a quick second to support and leave a like to help others find this content. And let us know in the comments any controversial opinion you may have.
Sometimes I miss the days of hunger standing in the rain. Mama when I didn't have shit to lose and everything.
Number 1. Chris Paul is actually better than Russell Westbrook. Did that hurt? Cause it kinda did for me as a Russell Westbrook fan. I gotta be honest and face the facts. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Chris Paul, even over the last few years, has been a better all-around and team player than Russell Westbrook. Sure, he's not the freak athlete that Westbrook is, but to help get the team some wins, I would pick Chris Paul over Westbrook any day. Offensively, Russell Westbrook is simply unguardable when he attacks the rim, but Russ still has not figured out how and when to be out of control. CP3 has mastered the game and knows when to get everyone involved and when to score the ball. Paul does not rush into his decision, takes his time in picking apart a defense, and always makes the right play, which diminishes his turnovers per game at only 2.4 to Westbrook 4.1. CP3 is also a way better playmaker than Westbrook. Yeah, sure, Westbrook might have extremely high assist numbers on any given night, but that is because he's supremely gifted at attacking the paint and attracting attention. But there's a difference between getting assists and being a playmaker. Chris Paul sets his teammates up perfectly in the flow of an offense, giving them the confidence to continue taking and making shots. He runs plays to perfection and makes the right pass to the right guy. Chris Paul is the best leader in the NBA and anyone can hardly debate that. Russell Westbrook leads through his play and also works incredibly hard on his body and stamina to keep going at 100% every night, but he is not the leader that Chris Paul is. Russ is very turnover prone, takes bad shots, and is a bit standoffish. Chris Paul is a natural leader and there's a reason why he's the head of the player union in the NBA. When it comes down to the final few minutes, Chris Paul has shown over and over again that he is capable of stepping up while Russ mostly rush into bad shots or bad passes and can gamble on steals. Russ struggle with calming down and taking over in the clutch, something Chris Paul has mastered throughout his 15 seasons in the league. We can even look at the team stats if you want. Westbrook had the chance to team up with Paul George and Carmelo Anthony in OKC in the 2017 and 18 season and finish with a 58 win percentage, while CP3 in his first year in OKC, with no Paul George and Carmelo Anthony by the way, finished with a better winning percentage at 61%. Back in Houston, CP3 and Harden teamed up for 79 win percent, which led them to a first seed and almost, if it wasn't for Chris Paul injury, bring them to the NBA Finals and a big chance at the title. Westbrook in Houston, you may ask? 61 win percentage and a second round domination exit to the Lakers. What else to add? 2 superstars point guard going straight into the Hall of Fames. One is just simply one step ahead. Number 2. For many, KD's move to the Warriors still makes them bitter to this day, and the hate towards him and the Warriors back in 2016, making them the hated team in the NBA, has not fully recovered for some people. In all reality, Kevin's decision to join the Warriors was pretty low, especially knowing that you just had a 3-1 lead in the series against those same Warriors and were 48 minutes away from getting to the NBA Finals yourself. Never expected that. But looking back at it, it's like Kevin Durant knew it all along. He was in a no-win situation. Either you stay in OKC with a good but unfortunately not that good Russell Westbrook. Man, this slander over Russell Westbrook name in this video is crazy. Anyways, you stay in OKC with Westbrook and hope you might win something. Probably won't because you have been trying for the last 12 years and it never worked out. But you still decide, why not? Let's keep trying and stay loyal to OKC. Fast forward a couple of years and the same result happens over and over again. Simply not enough. Now media, fans, and every NBA critics around the world start calling you out for not winning any championship. Your legacy starts falling apart, and as good of a scorer and all-around player that you are, you get left out of any of the greats conversation because of your lack of championship mentality. You get remembered as the guy who choked a 3-1 lead and never won any ring. Is that what you want to be remembered for? Sure, KD took the easy way out, but in the long run, it defined his legacy. People talk about KD winning 2 championships and being back-to-back finals MVP. People speak about KD clutchness late in Game 3 of the 2017 NBA Finals, and in 2018 sweeping LeBron and the Cavs. Media were almost unanimously all agreeing that KD was a better player than LeBron James before his injury. Would that still be the case if he would have stayed in OKC? Probably not. Let's face it, NBA players are more and more influenced in taking the easy routes because they start to understand that number 1, there's no loyalty in this game, it's a business. And number 2, I gotta do this for me, for my legacy and what I leave behind. I felt like KD didn't truly want to be in Golden State, that he saw an opportunity and took advantage of it, and once it runned out, he was out. Yes, we will always remember his move to the Warriors, and they will probably have an asterisk next to those championships, but it's a much better feeling than 0 championship next to your name. Number 3. Kobe Bryant left the game more gracefully than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has more efficient stats, a better sneaker legacy, and of course an extra ring. But one thing he'll never have over the Mamba is how they decided to leave the game. MJ not only retired more than once, but also was forced to play for a team that wasn't the Bulls for the last 2 years of his career. Sure, many of us choose to ignore that image of old Jordan in that fugly Wu-Tang Wizards uniform, but it happened. It was a reality. And regardless of how well he played in those years, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists a game, he still had to do it in DC. Kobe, on the other hand, gets to go out just as he came in, wearing purple and gold. He gets the benefits of never having to unretire. Kobe has probably the best exit game in history of basketball, dropping an incredible 60-point game in his last game of his 20th year in the NBA at 37 years of age. Truly phenomenal. Number 4. Ben Simmons is the most overrated player in the league. Yes, I said it. Simmons was drafted number 1 overall in the 2016 draft out of LSU. When Simmons came into the league, he received heaps of praise as most first overall draft picks do. He was unfortunately sidelined his rookie year due to a foot injury, but the praise and hype continued to build for his potential return. In his second year, Simmons came back and won Rookie of the Year, even though that was his second year in the league. He defeated budding superstar Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum for the award after producing 15.8 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, and 8.2 assists per game. This may seem trivial, but it is the start of the trend that has morphed Simmons into an NBA poster child despite being just an above-average player. Simmons produced good numbers. He was by no means better or more important to his team than Donovan Mitchell in that season. Additionally, he disappeared in the playoffs as Jason Tatum and the Celtics stomped the 76ers 4-1 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Regardless, Simmons is still somehow viewed on a national stage as a better player than both Mitchell and Tatum. I just don't understand. At 6'10", he is a much larger than a typical NBA point guard. On the surface, this looked like a matchup nightmare for opposing team, but since Embiid is the better player, he commands the better defender. Simmons is then able to get to the rim and score because he is young and athletic enough to bully smaller defenders. This particular style of play is not sustainable long term. When he begins to lose a step or is matched with a player of similar athleticism, he has struggled. In other words, Simmons put up completely hollow statistics. He will score in large doses when mismatches are created, but he disappears against better, more diverse competition. Simmons was extended with a max contract of 5 years, $170 million before this year's campaign. In a league where teams have difficulty securing homegrown players, the argument can be made that the 76ers needed to pay Simmons this in order for him to remain with the team. The question is why? Simmons is now set to make $170 million playing basketball when he literally cannot shoot a basketball. All of his field goal and field goals attempt come from within 15 feet of the basket. I hope I'm wrong, but with the way he has played on a consistent basis, I genuinely don't understand all the hype behind his name. At least not $170 million worth. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. I hope you did enjoy this video. Make sure to leave a like to help get the recognition it deserves. It would be very, very much appreciated. And with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.
Let's go.